Whenever I talk to people about traveling on my own, they seem genuinely surprised that that is something you can do. They often say things like, "Oh, I'd love to travel, but I could never go alone." And I realize that there's a whole set of people out there who just don't know how easy and rewarding it can be. Look, aging into your 30s can be tough, especially if you're just starting to think about traveling. Perhaps you've always wanted to, but had to focus on an education, a career, or a relationship. But now you're free to adventure, and you're finding that everyone else is a little too tied down to go with you. If this all sounds familiar, then this video series is for you. I want to show you how fun it can be to travel solo in your 30s. It may seem like a scary idea, but I promise you that it is one of the most rewarding experiences you can have. I'll give you a basic outline of what backpacking is, why I think you'll love it, and how to get started. Now I know you probably have a bunch of questions. What is solo backpacking? Is that safe? Is he crazy? Is he really in his 30s? Yes, and yes. A lot of people seem to be very scared about traveling alone, and a lot of times as you get older, less and less people are available to travel with you, so you end up not going anywhere at all. And that disappoints me because I feel like solo traveling can be a hugely rewarding experience and you can have a great time, and you don't need to be scared of it. So I want to make this video series as a brief how-to guide of how I go from having an idea of going someplace to actually being there. First of all, let's talk about what I mean when I say solo backpacking. You might be asking, is that where you pack all your tent and your food and you make a campfire every night and sleep out in the woods? That's not what I'm talking about. That's more cross-country backpacking. Also, another form of solo traveling that's very popular is to book a tour group, Kontiki or Flashpackers. That's all great and fine, but that's not really what I'm talking about. So to be clear, what I'm talking about is you pack your bags, you go to another country, and you plan your own route, see the things that you want to see, and leave on your own schedule. Now, one thing I will say is that I am an American, so a lot of my advice and tips and tricks probably will be biased towards Americans, and when I say American, I mean from the USA. However, I feel like the tips and the how-tos are pretty universal, but you may find that they don't apply to the country you're going to or the country you're from, so take what you can from this. So, first things first, you need your passport. If you're in the US, go to the State Department website or just Google "Get My US Passport." It's going to take 6 weeks and about $120 once you submit your application to get your passport back, barring any problems. So that's step number one.
Step number two, find out where you want to go.
This may be the easiest step, but there's still a few common sense guidelines I'd like to offer. First, pick a country where you speak a common language, or somewhere with a big enough tourism industry that English is commonly spoken. For instance, if you only speak English, you would do fine in Costa Rica or Thailand, but you might have a more difficult time in Guatemala or Mongolia. My second piece of advice is to look for travel advisories regarding your destination. If you're from the States, you can just Google State Department Travel Advisories to find this out. It's important to remember that any kind of travel anywhere will include some risk, so read through the advisories to make sure you're comfortable with your chosen destination. There are 4 levels to travel advisories. As a general rule, I wouldn't go anywhere more than a level 2, and certainly don't travel to a level 4 country. Also, a country could be largely safe but have a few trouble spots. Look through the advisory during your planning stage to make sure you're not spending any significant time in these areas, with the ideal being to avoid them entirely. Hopefully by now, you've got an idea of where to go. If not, watch my next episode to learn where I like to find my travel ideas. For those of you wondering where I am right now, it's a little town called Santa Cruz de la Laguna, on the beautiful Lake Atitlan in Guatemala. Alright, that's all for now. In the next episode, I'll continue on to step 3, doing your research. I'll outline the 4 websites I use when researching, planning, and booking a trip. And I'll also answer the biggest question most people have: doesn't it get lonely when traveling alone? I'm Joe Horniman, and this is Backpacking in Your 30s. I'll see you around the world.